tried reaching you all afternoon at your office. Have you stopped working with John?
No, I work at home on some special cases.
Now, what makes this one so special?
I'd rather not talk about it.
I thought we didn't have any secrets.
Dad!
Joe, I'm not prying. I thought you'd like to know what the New York police have come up with on your kidnapping.
They found Mrs. Phillips? Dad, that is great. Now Rob can get his money back and this whole nightmare will be over.
Hello, Joanna.
That's for making me wait all afternoon by the phone before you called me. And that's for promising me a wonderful evening tonight.
Joanna, I said we would go to the club. I also said that I would be working very late.
As if that ever bothered me. Now, allow me. Hold still. This is our introduction to Llanview as a couple. With any luck, some of your friends will be there. I think it's about time they got to know your future wife. Don't you?
Hey, how you doing? Can I get a club soda with a twist, please?
Living dangerously, huh, Mr. Roberts?
Yeah, well, I'd ask for a beer, but I'd probably end up crying. Thanks.
Whoever she is, she ain't worth it.
Yeah.
Hey, Sailor. Mind if I join you?
Sarah.
He remembers. Listen, I was just having dinner in the restaurant. I saw you come in. I thought you might like a little company.
Yeah, well, actually, I would. Thanks.
I'll have whatever he's having. Thanks.
My lucky day.
Something wrong? I'm sorry. You're saving this chair for someone else.
No, I'm not. Please, sit down. I guess I'm just a little confused, that's all. I was under the impression that you didn't want to see me anymore.
Well, I guess it's just a woman's prerogative to change her mind.
Mary Lynn,
I was wondering if you were ever going to come home.
I was wondering the same thing about you. When you didn't call me from your dad's, I was wondering whether you were going to at all.
And if the marriage was over before it started.
Was it?
No. Not for me. I love you, Wade. Can you ever forgive me?
Here's what to do when you don't find the rainbows in this time.
There's no way I could have put this dinner together without you, Renee. Thank you. Huh?
Well, I'm the one who's grateful. I wasn't sure that your guests of honor would want to show up knowing that I was going to be
Renee,
here.
in spite of what happened between you and Asa, Vicki and Clint think of you as a friend.
That means a great deal to me.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry Asa behaved the way he did at the wedding.
Well, in one way, I'm kind of glad it happened. It only confirmed my suspicions. That instead of Asa being okay without me, he's getting worse. And I'm betting that Bo Buchanan has something to do with it.
Isn't there anything at all I can say to make you drop this, Renee?
I'm afraid it's too late for that, Tom.
It's later than you think, if you keep butting in where you're not wanted, especially where Asa's concerned. Huh?
Tom, I don't think that Asa knows what he wants.
Renee, you've got to forget about Asa. And Bo, you have your own life to live.
Tom, I can't help feeling what I feel and knowing what I know. Now, if I'm wrong, I am more than willing to walk away from Asa and never see him again. But until that time, you know, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to spoil this lovely evening that you've got planned.
Oh, well, in that case, you won't be discussing Asa, is that right?
Scout's honor. Fashion, the weather, and your favorite movie. How's that?
That's darn wonderful.
However, there is one delicate little subject. What about Wade and Mary Lynn? What are you going to tell Vicki and Clint?
There's nothing to tell them.
What do you mean? The last time I was here, Mary Lynn was in her room. She wouldn't see anyone, wouldn't go anywhere.
Oh, that's all changed.
Good news. Where did she go and when?
She went where every young bride should go, back to her husband.
That is wonderful news. What did the trick? What got her going
I
again?
don't know, maybe it was something you said to her when you talked to her the other night. But she packed her bag, came downstairs, and said, I am going home to Wade.
My stars, that's amazing. Because I had the distinct feeling that I'd made no impression on her whatsoever, although she did listen to me when I talked to her.
Well, there you are. You see, you're not aware of your own power, are you, huh?
Oh, there's your guest.
Just a minute. Your guest, too. You're hostess, after all. I need your help, okay? Okay.
Hello, we're collecting for the paper drive.
Oh, no, sorry about that. Never read the paper. You see, I understand the people that run it are just very unsavory.
Told you we're at the wrong house. Let's go.
No, I never knew anyone to turn down a free meal. Get in here, you two. Hi, how are you? Hi, Tom. How are you?
Darling.
Oops, I'm sorry. Is it for you? Oh, aren't they gorgeous?
You're the second honeymoon couple to be here this week. It's lovely.
Wade, you haven't said it.
Said what? I'd rather kiss you than talk.
That you forgive me. I ruined our honeymoon. It was supposed to be romantic and wonderful, and I spoiled it for you.
Who cares about that? You're home now.
I care. I promise I will make it up to you.
Would you stop apologizing? You've got one responsibility now, and that's to kiss me and hold me for the next 48 hours straight.
Oh, wait. First, there's something I want you to know. Wait. No, listen. Renee got me to thinking. As a matter of fact, I've been in my room for the past 2 days doing nothing but thinking. And I see now how I've let my mother's death overwhelm everything else in my life.
I know, I told you I understand that.
Well, it's one thing to understand it, another to let it rule you. I'm not gonna let that happen anymore, Wade. I want to be happy. And with you.
I've waited so long to hear you say that. But still, are you sure that this is all behind you?
You don't believe me?
No, that's not it. I've been doing some of my own thinking, and, maybe it's a good idea for you to talk to somebody.
I've talked to Renee.
No, I mean someone objective. Like maybe the psychiatrist that you've been seeing before. He might be able to give you some insight as to how your mother's death affects you. And after a few sessions,
Wait,
some of the...
I don't need a psychiatrist. All I need is you and your love and your support.
And you will have that always. But still...
That's all I need, then. Wait, I came home to be a wife to you. In every way. That is, if you still want me.
What do you think? Come here, Mrs. Coleman.
Baby, I hate to disappoint you, but, well, the New York police have not found you, Mrs. Phillips. Fact is, they've come up empty on all counts.
Empty? Wait a minute. I told you about how they kidnapped me, the yacht they brought me to, where it was docked.
Yacht doesn't exist. At least not in any records on the eastern seaboard.
Wait a minute. How can you say that? Of course it exists. I was there. I suppose now you're going to tell me that the New York apartment I was at doesn't exist either.
Doesn't. I checked it out. The apartment's been vacant for at least 3 weeks.
Well, Dad, that is impossible. I mean, what about Beatrice Mayhew or Mrs. Phillips?
Mrs. Phillips disappeared last year, and there's no Beatrice Mayhew.
I did not dream this, all right? I went to New York. I was in an apartment with a woman who claimed she was Beatrice Mayhew. She turned out to be Evelyn Phillips. She took me to a yacht. It was docked at a boat basin. There were 2 thugs there. I even remember the name of the yacht. It was called the Skylark. Now, you mean to tell me none of that existed?
I'm telling you, the kidnappers were very thorough. The boat, the addresses, the people, they've all vanished.
I can't believe this.
Well, look, I'm keeping on my friends in the NYPD. We'll come up with something.
Yeah, well, by then it'll be too late.
Too late for what?
For Rob's club. He put the money up from Stars for ransom, and if he doesn't get it back, then he stands to lose the club.
Rob's always had a knack for survival. Look, it's not just his nightclub you're worried about, is it?
No, that's it. Why else would I be worried?
You and Rob were going away, I thought. What happened?
Change of plans. Basically, he just had too much work to take care of.
Too much work or too much Joanna Layton?
I've just been thinking about how stubborn I've been.
Stubborn? Hey, come on, girl, you were just being honest about how you felt about the situation. I kind of respected it.
Well, you were just being honest, too. I can't blame you if you still have feelings for Tina.
But that doesn't mean you have to put up with it.
Are you trying to get rid of me?
No, I'm just saying.
Hush. I know that I said I didn't want to see you until you got Tina out of your system. But I think we both know that day may never come. What I'm trying to tell you is that I missed you.
Well, I missed you. Listen, Sarah, I don't want to be a sore spot for you in your life. I don't want to be that.
I don't want that either. That's why I'd like to go back to where we started, as friends.
Just friends, that is, right? Well, to tell you the truth, I could use a just friend right about now.
I know that. Cord, Clint's really worried about you.
I know you were talking to... Listen, he didn't put you up to this. He didn't tell you to come over here and talk to me.
No, he didn't. I'm here because I want to be here. I care about you. Haven't you gotten that through your head yet?
Oh. Listen, I'm not trying to push you away. It's just that I feel real bad about the way I've treated you.
You know, I do take some responsibility for what happened between us, and I don't have one single regret. Well, maybe I have one or two regrets. Right now, I would just like to be your friend.
So I guess that means no dating or anything like that.
Who says that friends can't date, huh?
Oh, well, I guess it's not written anywhere, and we can make up the rules as we go along.
As long as you don't mind if I see other people. If you don't have a problem with that.
Ooh. Well, I guess if I do have a problem with that, that'll really say something, won't it?
I'll get you a quiet table.
Well, later, darling. I see two friends of yours over at the bar. Weren't they at the wedding?
That's Cord Roberts and Sarah Gordon, but they look otherwise engaged.
Nonsense. This is a club. The whole idea is to socialize. Come on. Hello again.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Rob.
Cord, Sarah, this is...
Joanna Layton. Yeah.
That's right. We all met at the Coleman wedding.
Aren't you Mrs. Sanders' house guest?
Not for long. Robert and I will have a home of our own. Just as soon as we're married.
You know the difference between a good...
Why did you say that? What made you bring up Joanna Layton?
Didn't he tell you we had a talk?
Yes. He told me that you were very upset that he didn't fill you in on the whole kidnapping escapade.
I also had a few choice words to say about her ladyship.
What about her?
Honey, she was here with Rob when he was waiting to hear from the kidnappers.
What?
No, he never mentioned it, did he?
No. It must have slipped his mind, Dad.
Yeah, I'll bet it did. Just like it must have slipped his mind to mention that she still thinks she's engaged to him.
That is ridiculous. They are not engaged.
Well, she thinks she is.
They used to be engaged, all right? Rob came back to Llanview. He and I worked everything out, and then he flew back to London and he broke it off with her.
Told me the same thing, but you know what? Somebody ought to tell Miss Layton. Better yet, you clear the air with Rob as soon as he comes home.
He's not coming home. He moved out. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know where to find him.
Engaged?
Yes. It's been our little secret now for over a year. Hasn't it, Robert? We just thought it's about time we told the world.
Well, I guess the world will be as surprised as we are.
Cord.
It's all right, Sarah. You're referring to the fact that Robert was with Cassie at the wedding.
Well, among other places.
Would you care for another drink, Sarah? Cord?
Darling, darling, we've got nothing to hide anymore. There was a brief time when Robert and I were separated. I went off to African safari. He came back here to Llanview, but we soon discovered that we belonged not with new frontiers or old loves, but that we belonged together. And that's where we intend to stay until our wedding.
Ted, would you make sure that Mr. Roberts and Ms. Gordon have whatever they like on the house?
That's really not necessary, Rob.
Oh, Sarah, let him. He loves to make the beau jest. Don't you, darling?
If you'll excuse me, I have to work the room. Would you like me to escort you back to your table?
That's very sweet of you, but I think I can find my own way.
Always do.
Sarah, Gordon, Rob.
Isn't he a treasure?
That's the word I was looking for.
What'll it be, folks?
Sarah?
I'll have a white wine, please.
Great. Joanna, whatever you want, it's on Rob.
Nothing for me. I'm staying late. I should pass. Thanks.
Oh, I'll have a wine, too. Thanks.
You know, there was a time when I would have envied a couple like you, enjoying the evening. But tonight, I don't envy anyone.
You seem to have what you want.
Oh, yes. It's been very nice talking to you, Sarah, and you, Cord. I hope we can do it again before Robert and I return to England. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Joanna.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Whoa, slow down. We have the whole night ahead of us.
Yeah. You know, she seems like a nice enough lady, but it just doesn't seem to make sense that he would be engaged to her for over a year.
I know, and still be planning to marry Cassie the last couple of weeks.
You know, this story sounds real familiar to me. I mean, a man being engaged to a woman, and then all of a sudden it's over like that, and he's with another woman. And, you know, I think people in this town, when they say I do, they should just go someplace and do it.
I think it's something in the Landview water supply.
You know, there's something to that. It's getting so you need, like, a program to check out who all these players are.
Just as I suspected, all I've got in the fridge is a half a hunk of cheese and one English muffin.
Well, typical. I leave you alone for a couple of days and you fall completely apart.
Doesn't that tell you something?
Yes. That we need to send out for pizza.
Oh, you're such a romantic. And no pizza. And no Heavenly Halo burgers. I've been eating them for a week. Tonight, exotic food. I'm going to go down to the Shanghai Dragon and bring you back a feast.
Oh.
That is, if you can stand to be away from me for more than a minute.
I'll try. Besides, it'll give me time to get ready.
Ready for what?
I still owe you a wedding night, remember? Tonight, I want to be in bed with my husband. Now go and hurry back.
Back as fast as I can.
This is it, Mom. Time for your little girl to grow up.